Hi, everybody. It's Rob.
And Katie.
And welcome into Living Loving Disney. And we have a special segment for you. We've got Jacob with us, our son. He and his wife recently went to Aulani for a little visit. So we wanted to get him on the show and tell us a little bit about the Aulani experience, because we haven't been able to be there yet because of the whole COVID thing, right?
We gifted them a day before we even got to play. So
I mean, I kind of wish they would have took more days, but it's all that they could fit in at the time. So
yep.
But anyways, Jacob, welcome in.
Thanks, guys. Yeah,
you're on the world famous Living Loving Disney podcast.
Wow. Finally, I made my big break.
Thousands of listeners.
Yeah, millions.
I wish.
Yeah, one day. But no, it was cool. So yeah, we went to Hawaii. We both graduated. I'm still working on it, but my wife's family wanted to take us to Hawaii. We went. It was really fun, and it was pretty. I mean, wasn't it pretty last minute, Kathleen? I remember we were texting. I remember we were at dinner, and it was like, hey, like, is this gonna happen? It was like a month before, and you were like, oh, we'll see if certain dates work. So I remember we were kind of battling dates, and you had to book it, and we were like, we're like, oh, we gotta. Does this work with the family and everything? So we were in Waikiki. That's where we were staying on the Big Island, and Aulani it was about 50 minutes away from where we were staying. So, and I imagine if you fly into Honolulu, then they pick you up or they shuttle you, because they usually do that, right?
Right. Yeah, you can get
you get a shuttle.
I don't think Aulani has their own shuttle, but you can get a shuttle car, just the shuttle service that takes you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
From what I understand from Steve and Carol have been there a couple times, and they've had to book a taxi or something to get them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, we were thinking we take a lift over there or something. And I think it was going to cost us like $60 or something one way.
Yeah.
But you guys gifted us the experience, and so we're like, if we just have to pay for the ride over there, that's not too shabby. But it ended up working that my wife's parents, my in-laws, they had a rental car at the time, so they took us over. Check-in was like at 11. We got over there at, I think it was a little later, like at 1. And it's a little bit of a drive, as most resorts are. It was a little bit out of the way from everything else, right? It was kind of like a few resorts. It was right next to the Four Seasons resort.
Okay.
But there wasn't a ton around you. You weren't like smack dab in the city,
So you weren't like, I mean, how close to the Four Seasons resort is it exactly? I mean,
they share their private beach, right?
Yeah, they share the private little lagoon spot. Yeah. And I'll talk about that in a little bit too, about I was sitting in one of the Four Seasons chairs and somebody, sir, you have to get up and move. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's the Disney, chair. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Get out of the Four Seasons.
Yeah, they saw my wristband and stuff. So it's literally right next to it. You're driving up. It's beautiful. There's actually, it almost feels like you're on a golf course or something. There's some little shops and stuff across the street from the resort and everything. But yeah, it's like the Four Seasons and then the Aulani resort right there. And they my in-laws dropped us off right in front of the big doors, and
so your in-laws drove you over there?
Yeah, they drove us over there. It was like I said, it was about 45-50 minutes from where we were staying at the time in Waikiki, and they drove us over there, dropped us off. We were there for like 5 days, and that's why we didn't want to stay there any longer, because we were there kind of with my in-laws and their family and everything.
I get it.
So we were like, we'll just take one day.
See you later. I'm going to Disney.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of rude, yeah.
Right. Thanks for, because they gifted us, one of her aunts, like, paid for our flights and everything over there. Yeah, exactly. And so we wanted to make sure we spent time with them. But wow, I mean, just walking in, the place is incredible. And, when I was 14 or whatever, we stayed, at Disneyland, and we stayed in a nice, I don't think it would be considered a resort, would it? I mean, it was a nice
Paradise
hotel.
Pier. It was a Disney.
Is that where we stayed at?
Paradise Pier, yeah.
Yeah, where we took you guys.
So yeah, I mean, so this would be, I guess, the second time. I mean, it's just ridiculous, and they stay true to the the whole Hawaiian theme and everything. So everything, there's things shaped in, the arches shaped kind of like surfboards and things like that, and you walk in, and it's very open air. And so
Uh-huh.
right when you walk into the doors, you already see the beach and you see the palm trees and you can see the lazy river and
Oh,
you
really?
see the whole ordeal
You can
right
see the
walking through the
beach
doors.
right when you walk in the door. You can see the beach from the lobby area.
Yeah, like from the lobby area, you can just see right out into the ocean right
Nice.
Oh,
from there.
wow.
It
That's cool.
like I said, it's kind of stays true to the Hawaiian theme and almost like you're in a little surf shop or something, and everything's kind of
Right.
open, right? Like there's open windows, open doors, and
Yeah.
things like that. So check-in was super quick. Yeah, we stayed on the.
Oh.
I think Sophia wanted to go to the gift shop before we went, did anything else. I'm like, hey, we're supposed to do that at the end,
Yeah.
Well, I know, but
yeah,
it's always fun to go walk
Yeah.
through and see what they got and stuff before you actually get something or something.
Yeah.
right. And just like to preface it too, I mean, we only stayed one night. We were there for about 24 hours total, and so I was like, we don't have time to, we're gonna go to the gift shop later. We want to go explore and
But it's
everything.
part of the
So,
experience too,
but it's part of the
Yeah.
Check it
experience, yeah. And
out.
so we went. We had all of our stuff, and we were, going in the gift shop and everything. We stayed on the 11th floor. Actually, I don't know how many floors there are in that place.
So you're facing were you guys facing the ocean?
So out of our room, like on the balcony, it was kind of split. You could see another side of the resort, and then right below you was the little, I guess the courtyard area or whatever it would be called that they did the
They did the stage.
they did the
show down there.
luau's.
Yeah. So they
Yeah,
were
they
on the
did the luau's
backside.
right there. But you could still see, like I'm looking at a picture right now of our exact view.
Mhm.
You could see the beach kind of on your far right. And I know this is kind of silly, but
Yes.
like you
They were
probably
like
can't
in
see,
one
but
of these two corners.
whoa,
What was your
our room number was I think it was like 1179 or something.
Yeah.
I have a video here, but like this was our view. You could kind of see the beach was right there, but you saw a lot of palm trees.
That's
You
still
saw another
that's
resort.
beautiful view, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it was incredible. Another resort kind of in the distance, but so that was the view. When you walk in on the TV, it's like Ohana, Jensen, kind of welcome in and
Okay.
everything.
That's cool.
Good thing we got the same last name, man.
Yeah, I know, exactly. You log in. Hello, Shabrowski. What? So yeah, the room was nice. It was perfect for us, just for a couple. The bathroom was super nice. They had the over the head shower that that just comes right down.
Rain
Right. The rain
So
head.
did they just have? I mean, at Disney World at the Polynesian, they have a shower room with a sink, and then they also have another bathroom area as well. Do they just have the one bathroom area at Aulani?
In our room, you walked in, there was the sinks, the shower, and then there was a separate door that went into like the toilet. So like if you were going to the bathroom, it was a separate door that you would close. So
what the heck is that, man?
Gotcha.
Okay, so all right.
So yeah, that was
that's
the
pretty
bathroom,
much
and
the
then
same, man. I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was perfect.
The only difference would
for
be
us, like
they
I
have a
said.
bath. They have a bathtub and a shower at the Poly.
Right. Because there's a
Where
tub shower
this-
in one
they're
room
just-
and just
they
a
were just
shower in the
minus the
other.
bathtub, right? I mean, as far as a
No bathtub.
shower,
Mhm.
because but other than that, then okay. So that sounds
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think I think it was a queen bed, and slept like babies that night.
Was it so comfortable?
Yeah, it was a comfy bed. I mean, when you're traveling and everything, man, when your head hits that pillow,
Oh,
it
yeah.
just lights out, Sometimes when you're hanging out all day and you're in the sun, you're like, you could sleep on the floor almost. But yeah, I mean, from what I remember, it was a good night's sleep. And that night we watched the luau and everything from the room and all that. But
I remember
I'll get to that.
showing us video of that. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, you could see, quite a few people just hanging out. They got a couple chairs and a table and stuff on the balcony. Enough room for you to sit down. And Sophia was out there. It was like a 2.5 hour ordeal.
Oh.
Show and everything. And she was out there the whole time.
So could you
She
hear it
watched the
pretty
whole
good
thing.
then? I mean,
Oh yeah, you could hear it perfect, and you could hear that when they were talking, the words and the storytelling and everything, and then when they sang, and we were 11 stories up,
right.
but I felt like you could still see pretty good too. You could still see the performers. They had little platforms that the dancers would be on top of, and twirling around and doing their
So
thing.
there you
So
go. So you can actually see the luau without paying luau prices.
I've seen that.
Right.
A lot of people said that they'd watched that
Yeah.
one from their window and then they did another luau somewhere else.
Oh,
But they
really?
watched the Disney
Because
one.
it was
Yeah.
cheaper to do another.
yeah, oh, I bet. So, but yeah, we
That's
dropped
cool.
our stuff off. We didn't waste much time. We dropped our stuff off, and then we went down to the main area, I guess. With the lazy river and the water slides and everything. We brought a few things with us, and they have cubbies and everything that you could put it in. You check out a towel, and when you check out a towel, they give you a wristband, and that's your pass to move around and everything during the day.
Okay.
So yeah, first thing I think we did was go right to the water slides. There's two of them, and there's one that you just go in, just body, and then there's another one that you grab a tube for, and you
Okay.
can do a solo or a double tube.
Uh-huh.
And both of them just popped right into the lazy river, so you can ride the water
really?
slides, and then boom, and then you're in the lazy river going around and
Oh,
stuff.
that's
So
cool.
it was funny. We saw both the lines, and one was really short and the other one was really long, and we're like, let's do a tube first, and so we have a tube, and we're waiting in the short line, and some little kid was like, do you know that that's a body only line or something like that, and we're like, oh shoot, and a couple other people kind of chuckled. They're like, yeah, we were wondering the same thing. We're like, we didn't even know that there was a difference. We thought it was, because a lot of water slides you can grab it, you can go on a tube, or you can just go on your body or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah, we were in the wrong line, so we had to go to the other line. But there were fun little
You're
water
like, what do
slides.
you know, little kid?
Yeah,
Tell me what to do, huh?
pipe down.
I
Pipe
said
down,
you down the water
squeaky.
slide already.
I do what I want. I'm Disney Vacation Club. I do
older
what I
than you.
want.
Yeah. This is my magic here,
Yeah.
bro.
So that was fun. We did both of those. I think we just did it once. And the lazy river was cool. They actually require that you're in a tube in the lazy river. You can't just kind of float it or swim
Right.
it.
I mean, that's
You have
kind
to
of
be in
how
a
it
tube.
is at Disney World too, at the water
Yeah.
parks. I mean, you can get off your inner tube and stuff, but there's so many tubes in I mean, you really just want to lay on one anyways.
Yeah, that's
Right. It's
what
more
makes
relaxing
it
that way.
lazy.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I made Josh swim against the current one year when he was still in swim team because I promised his coach I'd keep him working out while we were on vacation. So
yeah, well, that really wasn't a workout, but so did you guys go around? I mean, how was the
We did.
lazy river? Did you guys
Yeah,
hang
it
out in
was
there
it
for a
was
while?
pretty. We just went around one time. It was pretty long, actually. I felt like it took us a while to get all the way around, and it was pretty funny too, because there's a lot of they have a lot of little waterfalls and things going into the lazy river. So you'll be floating along, and there'll be like a little artificial waterfall that it's going into the lazy river, or a little hole that you just have a stream of water pouring through. So I'd be going,
Right.
and the tube and Sophia would be facing backwards, and I would just paddle us through a little waterfall, and she'd be, oh,
Right.
this is so nice, and nail her with the waterfall and stuff. So yeah, it was cool. Weather was really good too while we were there. It was that day, it wasn't actually super warm. It was a little overcast, which depends on what you like. But for us, we wanted to be hot, we wanted to get tan and stuff, but it was a little overcast that day. Like it was in the 70s.
Saw you
But
showing off your
mostly the
tan.
time, yeah, my blinding white body. So yeah, we did the lazy river, and then to grab a bite, we actually went to, it's spelled Ulu Cafe.
Ulu Cafe.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of pools. So you have the water slides in the lazy river, and then you walk a little bit farther, and there's I think there's like a bar. They have a couple hot tubs. It's actually a double-decker hot tub that you can get in up here, or you can walk down a couple steps, and there's a little, it's almost like an infinity pool, but a hot tub. And so it's
cool.
cascading over the side, and you can go in that lower portion as well. And so we hung out in there for a little bit. But yeah, they got all these different pools, and they have an infinity pool that just drops off and just looks out into the ocean. Super pretty. And so this cafe is kind of tucked where all those pools are at. And we ate there a couple times actually. It was a little bit cheaper than the Makahiki, I think
So
is
you
what it's
didn't
called, the actual
right, you didn't have to have a
restaurant.
reservation or nothing. You just kind of walked up to
Yeah,
order
Okay.
you just
something.
walked in. Yeah, you just walked in. You could just grab and go. Kind of, it was
Okay.
there was stuff all over the place. You could grab it, or if you actually wanted to order something, you would order it. You'd pay, and then you would just sit out on these little stones that they
So
have.
what'd you guys
Little
what'd you guys
wall.
have to eat there?
Um,
A
shoot,
hot
I
dog.
yeah, we had something very authentic. Um, I I think one day we actually just got like some some chicken strips and some dipping sauce, just something quick,
Okay,
because we wanted to be out doing stuff.
sure.
We got a Dole Whip there. We got a few snacks. The next morning, actually, we went there again to get breakfast, and we had eggs and bacon and sausage, and I think we had even some pancakes. It was a little breakfast sampler
Platter.
meal that
Were
you
they
could
were
get.
they
Yeah.
Mickey pancakes or
I don't think so. I don't think so. Not at the little
what?
Ulu Cafe.
What?
Well,
No,
okay. Well,
Mickey had pancakes?
this is the other interesting thing. Like,
Interesting.
if when you're at Disneyland or when you're at Disney World, it's a resort, and the resort is great in and of itself. But the part that's also the park is a main attraction. So this one was
Right.
interesting in the fact that it was the resort and it was just the resort. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
There's
So I
no
think
park there. This
there's no park or
oh,
anything.
this
So
one.
it felt Disney-esque, but without a park right there that you were going to, it was kind of interesting to be lacking that, because you're used to, oh, I'm at a
Yeah.
Disney park. I'm at a Disney
Let's
resort.
go
I'm
on a
gonna go to
ride
Disney
now.
Park.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's go on a
exactly.
So
And
ride
then
quick.
there
okay,
is no.
so when you first got there, when you first walked into, I mean, you knew it was a Disney resort, so in your mind, you're kind of there.
You already primed yourself to, oh
So when
wow,
you walked
Disney.
in there, could you see that, yeah, this is Disney? Was there, what popped out that really showed you it was Disney? Was there some, something that popped out that showed this is Disney there,
I
or was
feel
it
like
just in your head?
it-
I
I,
guess.
I feel like it might have been a little bit of both. I feel like it was, like I'm saying, a little bit more subtle.
Right.
It wasn't.
I
It
would
wasn't
imagine so.
quintessential Disney. It was like very trying to be, this is Hawaii culture.
Right.
And here we have a little, maybe some Mickey patterns or something in the floor, or, obviously like, pictures hanging up and things like that, and the gift shop, and people walking around wearing Disney stuff and wearing their ears and
Right.
everything like that. That made it feel more like Disney. But yeah, without like Disneyland or Disney World rides, it was more subtle, honestly.
Okay.
So yeah, that was something
But
that
they
Sophia and I
were
were
there. I
actually just
mean,
talking about today.
in your in your room on the walls, there was subtle Disney. What did you find? Was there some Mickey ears here and there, like in the
Yeah,
wallpaper kind of thing? Or
I didn't notice anything in the wallpaper, but you walk in and, like I said, the TV's on, and it has like little Disney insignia and everything on there. I'm trying to remember anything
because I
else.
know, like I know when we
Things
go
had.
to Disneyland Hotel, it's not real like in your face, right?
Not, no, not on
So
all of
they
them.
have little
Some of them are subtle.
decor things in Disneyland Hotel, which I really like the
Mhm.
decor of the Disneyland Hotel. And they have little Mickey Mouse heads that they're not like popping up. Hi, I'm Mickey Mouse. They're so it's probably something similar at Alani as
Yeah,
well, where they have it here and there, but it's not
but
like right in your face.
it's more like, okay, people are coming to Hawaii. They want to
Right.
feel like they're in Hawaii, right? And so I
Right.
feel like I'm saying it's a lot more focused on the Hawaiian culture than
Which
the
is
Disney.
what they
Like I'm looking,
wanted.
Yeah,
Disney
which
that's
is
wanted
what they
that.
wanted. Yeah,
yeah,
because you
that's
want to feel like
exactly
you're
what
in
they
Hawaii
wanted.
when you're in Hawaii, right?
Right.
Like I'm looking at pictures right now of even just like the corridors there. And yeah, nothing in particular with the Disney really sticks out. Our room, I'm looking at like the wallpaper and the patterns and everything. And yeah, you don't
Okay.
see a
Well,
lot of that, interestingly. But
so
it
I
but
mean,
it, but it's
yeah,
nice.
yeah, that's
It's nice to
good.
Yeah.
have that culture, like the Hawaiian culture, that
Right.
you could tell that they're really respectful.
Yes, it was very important to
saying,
Yeah,
them.
that's what they were really going for, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know they do Mickey head snow cones. One of the Mickey things they do
Yeah,
there.
did you have a snow cone there, Jacob?
They didn't. They had
So
pineapple.
You
so
had something.
I would
cool.
go back to the Aulani Resort just for the shaved ice. I mean,
That's what it was, shaved ice.
the shave ice, holy cow. Yeah, so you got it. What they do is they actually take a scoop of vanilla ice cream and they put it in the bottom. and then they
Okay.
give you a big bowl shape, a big ball of shave ice, and then they put two little balls on the side, so it looks like a Mickey head,
Head.
Mickey
Uh-huh.
ears.
Must have been a male.
And then they
shaved ice.
they put a bunch of different flavors on there. You can customize, like I want
Rainbow
like a
or
classic,
whatever.
a classic one, or Sophia got the one that was all decked out. It had condensed milk on the top with the vanilla ice cream and with the shave ice and all the different flavors and stuff. But wow, that thing was delicious. I mean, I never have had anything like
Wait,
that. The ice
okay.
cream with
So
it.
it's got the ice cream in it. So that made a big difference with the ice cream in it, huh?
Yeah, it did. It was a very
Try one of
interesting
those.
flavor. Here's a
I
picture of
wonder if they
us
have
with the.
anything. I wonder if that's
It was
specifically
delicious.
for Aulani, or if they have anywhere in Disney World.
That's a
might have
specific
that.
Aulani thing because people talk about
Sounds
it.
pretty good.
Yeah, so that's actually a thing that they just do in Hawaii. That's people, when we were visiting there, they said, "Oh, you have to try the shave ice here.
Okay,
It's
so the
special."
next-
They always do the ice cream. It's kind of a Hawaiian shave ice tradition.
So the next
That's
question
cool.
is this: if you saw one of those shaved ice
Oh, stop
on
it.
top of a trash can, untouched, with a spoon
I
in
would
it, would you eat
I
it?
would approach with my straw and just say, if I use my straw to eat it, does that really make it that good?
It's a thing,
Um,
man. You heard?
well,
Did
you
you
get
hear
to,
the thing about with
yeah,
Alicia?
you
I
guys did a
couldn't
little
believe it. I'm
episode,
like,
right?
that is too funny. It's actually a thing. Huh? Or maybe we just got
Yeah,
lucky.
you did like
I don't
if you found an
know.
X, if you found an X at the top of the trash can and it looked pristine, would you eat it? Right? That
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
the question.
but
Yeah, with
Alicia
these,
said
no doubt, I'd do it.
she found that elephant ear or something at Laguna sitting on top of a trash can. Nobody around it.
Oh, the theme park in Utah?
Yeah, when you guys went,
Oh,
she
really? I
goes.
didn't hear
She
about that.
at the end of the episode of I don't know what we're talking about. Raya.
Rhea or something. We were talking about one of the
She
movies.
brought up she goes, I got to tell you guys, when we were at Laguna, that I saw it wasn't an elephant ear, but something like that.
Fry bread or something.
Fry bread, yeah. On top of a trash can. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? She's like, no, I'm not kidding you. I'm like, it's
Like,
real.
did you take it? Did you take it?
And then we said, Kurt, would you eat it? Well, I actually don't like
Whatever it
elephant
was.
ears or whatever it was. I'm like,
Like it
oh,
had
come
nothing to do
on.
with the fact that it was in the trash can.
Eat
This
anything,
is not a
Kurt.
flavor that I enjoy. Oh,
Anyways, so that's the
the
question.
fact that it was in the trash can had nothing to do with it.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Put the
I
shaved
would.
ice on that.
Yeah, I would
That
eat the
sounds
shaved
really
ice.
good. That shaved ice.
Yeah,
that
so
sounds-
when you guys
Yeah.
go, you'll have to get to get one of
Definitely.
those, one or two of those a day.
Did
at
you get to
least.
see Mickey at all?
We
Yeah,
didn't
they
see
did.
any characters. I don't know
No,
if that was a
not really.
COVID thing or what. Yeah,
Huh.
we didn't
Could
see
have
any
been.
characters walking
Yeah,
around
you're
or doing
probably
anything.
right.
But I know they had like for the younger kids, you could create your own Mickey ears, and they had a thing.
Mhm.
I think you actually told us about that, Kathleen.
Yeah.
You
But-
create your own Mickey ears?
Yeah, they have all kinds of crafts at different times of the day. And it was
Yeah,
kind of cool.
you
I was
could-
looking them up for him while he was there. Okay, go to this
Okay.
at this time.
But
Okay.
it was tough for us though, because we were there for so little time that we were like, oh, we just want to be in the lazy river. We want to be on the beach. We
Oh,
want to
sure.
be, eating
Yeah.
the food. So, but I don't know if maybe during one of those things, maybe they have a character come and do something. But so yeah, we didn't see any characters or anything like that while we were there. But Sophia did get some Mickey ears, and they were cool Hawaiian pattern.
Oh, nice.
She's gotten, she has like 5 or 6 pairs of Mickey ears.
Were they different than
Um,
mine?
She's got
You just had a flower in
layer-
them or something,
a
right?
layer-
Oh, okay, yeah,
Hawaiian
yeah.
flower on it.
Yeah, so the ears themselves, the actual ears that are black on yours were like a blue, and they had a flowery pattern, kind of like in the
Okay.
what's
Cool.
hanging behind you guys.
Uh-huh.
And I
Hawaiian
think it even had no, maybe it didn't have like
I'm all
sparkles or
looking
something,
back. I
but
could just look at the screen and see what's behind you.
You're freaking brilliant.
He's a genius.
and it was a real bummer though too, because we found out that when we got back to Utah that those ears were actually left behind, which was a bummer.
Oh, you're kidding.
She was so bummed, because when we left the resort, a friend that Sophia went to BYU with, who actually lives in Hawaii, she's Hawaiian, she came and picked us up, and we went to another beach and hung out for a little bit, and we think that we left them there at the beach that we were hanging out, or maybe in the car, in our friend's car or something. But
Bummer.
yeah,
Yeah, I've
So it was a
lost more
bummer.
than one
Well,
pair.
hopefully you get to go again, Jacob. then you get some more indicators. But
If not,
Yeah.
we'll get
what
it on.
else? So okay, so you hung out on the beach. I mean, so you guys did all the stuff there. So what was your favorite thing that you did there while you were there? I mean, you're only there
Yeah,
for
but
24 hours,
besides besides the shave ice, honestly, yeah, just hanging out on the little beach that they had there. I mean, it depends like what you want to do when you're in Hawaii. Like some people like to go and do a lot of stuff, but we were kind of there. I had just been working in Oregon, like you guys know, and
right?
she had just graduated, and it was work and studying and really crazy. And so Hawaii for us was we just wanted to relax. So we liked the beach. They had a bunch of different chairs set up. You just claimed whatever one you want as long as it was Disney Resort and not Four Seasons.
Get
Um,
off our chairs.
but super nice chairs. You could put up your umbrella if you wanted the shade.
Okay.
And the house that we were actually staying in, the rental that we had in Waikiki, we they had a big bag of just stuff for the beach that the people that
Okay.
were staying there could use. And so there was some snorkel gear in there that we had scrubbed and washed, and then we had been using it the whole trip. And so we actually brought some snorkel stuff with us, and you can buy
Okay.
some stuff there. But for anybody that's going to the Aulani Resort, highly recommend you just bring, go to Walmart, grab a snorkel, grab some goggles, bring them with you.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, you can go out there and snorkel. It's all white, like it's all sandy.
Right.
Some parts you go, it's you got the coral and all that, but yeah, this little private beach was really nice, really sandy, and you could go out quite a ways. It was open, and then I don't know, probably 100 yards out at least, they had some big rocks that were there.
Okay.
That were kind of that they didn't say, like, they didn't have a big wall up or something like you can't go past here, but it was strong current. Be careful when you get way out there. But yeah, we got our snorkel gear on, and we went out to the rocks, and we're looking at little fish. That's one of the coolest things to do in Hawaii. I mean, when we were in Waikiki on the beaches there, we found sea turtles, and I'm swimming next to one for a couple minutes straight, just watching him.
Like
And
gnarly, dude.
yeah, exactly. It sounded just like Crush. I was like, wow.
Just like Crush.
You talk to me, dude.
Yeah, I'm watching him eating some grass, and I'm like, wow. So yeah, snorkeling is one of the coolest things to do there.
See Jacob eat grass. You got to get onto the YouTube channel to check this episode out.
I do a pretty good turtle. I do a good Dana Kirby from Master of Disguise.
Now they have the
But,
special
So that's
pool
a
to
cool-
swim in for that has the
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you
Yes,
can.
did
you
do
can.
that?
So we actually walked up to the crew, and we said, hey, what's the deal here? Is this kind of a cool thing and whatever? And they actually told us, you can definitely do it. It's kind of geared towards younger kids
Mhm.
that want to
It's
do
so
it,
fun,
but like
yeah.
anybody can still do it. But yeah, you walk into this little cove, as it were, and they have these big windows, and you can just see all these fish, and you can actually, I think it's a certain time that you go in with an instructor or whatever, and you can actually get in there and you swim around with all the different fish and stuff. So yeah, that's something else that they had, and we asked about, but we ended up not doing it. But
Okay, so when you were out there snorkeling out there, so what kind of fish did you see?
No,
I don't even know what they're called, but
A
Don't
yeah,
lot
know.
of different colored ones. or-
yeah, a lot of different colors, and you see different sea anemones and starfish and things like that. So yeah, grab some snorkel gear when you're out there, and
That's a good
yeah, when you're out,
recommendation.
yeah. And it's not super exciting like in the big area where like people are just swimming around. You kind of have to go out by the rocks. That's
Right.
mostly where the fish are at and stuff. But and then they had this little tour. They had this little boat with a sail, and they would play music and blow this boom boom, the big shell or something. And
big shell.
you could
Okay.
actually do it.
Yeah.
You could do a tour or something. It looked like, we didn't ask about it, but people would get on the boat, and they would sail out and go on a little tour or something. And I think they would
Huh.
just stay along the coast. They would just hug the coast or something. But yeah, so this boat was going in and out. Had this
The
cool
weird thing
sail and
about it
everything.
is the only people that came back were the crew.
On a 3-hour
Yeah,
tour.
so that was cool. But yeah, I loved just hanging out on the beach, sitting in the nice chairs there. People would come out, and they would serve you, food and drinks if you wanted while you were out there. They'd walk by you and say, hey, can we grab you anything? And
Nice.
so we brought our breakfast down there. Actually, the next morning, we went down there, got our wristbands early in the morning so we could because checkout was at 11, but we wanted to grab our wristband so we can, hang out there
On the day or
during the
whatever.
day.
Right.
And we were just there, like I said, for one night. So we each had a backpack, and we just had like a bag, like something you get at Trader Joe's or something, one of those bags of
Right.
reusables that had some stuff in it. So it wasn't like we were lugging around, suitcases. So it was nice. We were able to check out of our room, and then carry our stuff around. But yeah, we got breakfast, went down to the beach, just hung out. We swam in all the different pools. Like I said, we went in the hot tub. So it was like I said, different than Disney, where you're running around. There's a million things to do.
Right.
It's more of a relaxing resort. They have a couple water slides for the kids, and you would see these kids that had 10 wristbands on that had been there for a week and a half, and they were still having a great time.
Do
So
you get a new
but-
wristband every day?
Yeah.
you get a new wristband every day, and it's a different color. So you
Okay.
can't reuse a wristband. They can
Gotcha.
identify green for Wednesday or whatever. But yeah, so I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, we loved hanging out on the beach. That night we went to the Makahiki. I'm gonna make sure I'm saying that right, but we went to the restaurant. Yeah, Makahiki.
You just cussed
So we went
us
to the
out
actual-
in Hawaiian. You son of a gun, you!
But that night it was kind of out of all the time in Hawaii. We went out to dinner a couple times, but we were like, that's going to be our big dinner, where we're gonna not really look at the pay's check and just go and enjoy ourselves.
Okay.
And we got there. It was a little bit later. It was like 9:30 or 10, and they were getting close to being closed. By the time we actually left the restaurant, they weren't letting anybody back in. It was 10:15 or 10:20 or something. But I had a cool feel there. I'm looking at a picture now. I remember just the patterns. What did they have? It was like bamboo or something. They had like woven bamboo into certain parts of the restaurant and things like that. It was really cool looking, and the
Kind of
lights were
jungly or
kind of jungly, yeah. And then like they had, I don't think it was actually stained glass, but it kind of had that stained glass look of cultural things of Hawaii. People
Mhm.
paddling the boats and
okay.
and whatnot. So and the lights were kind of
Whatnot.
turned down,
Whatnot.
and the lights were turned down, so it had a good romantic feel. It was cool. We had our
Nice.
buttons that said like I'm celebrating, and we would tell people, oh yeah, we're celebrating graduation. So
So did they spoil you?
I don't remember if they
Did they play the song
or something.
Dun, 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 dun,
Stop.
dun. Like,
Yeah, a
why?
whole band came out and with their ukuleles.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it on a
No,
ukulele. but-
they were just really kind, But yeah, I don't think we got any of the little special treats or anything like that. But Sophia got this salmon.
Okay.
You got to get seafood when you're in Hawaii, right? So she got the salmon, and it was
salmon
a
would be
cool
good.
mashed potatoes with this cool design that they put in it and everything. And then
Okay.
I got a steak, and yeah, we took leftovers. It was plenty to eat. It was a sea cow. No, I just love my steak. And I'm pretty sure I don't have any pictures of it, but I'm certain that we got. Oh, that's what it was. So I think that the menu was a little limited because of COVID and stuff. So they would just say like, hey, it was like 4 choices for your
Main course.
meal, and then they just your main course, and it just came with a dessert. So we each got our own
Okay.
dessert. I honestly don't even remember what we got, but it was tasty. The service was really good. We talked with one of the waitresses that was serving us, one of the servers, for quite a while. She was very kind, and so overall it was a good experience.
What did you
had
end up
leftovers
spending for your meal there?
yeah, so it's funny. This was the most expensive meal that Sophia and I have ever been out to, and
Okay.
we love to eat, and we've dropped some dollars. And actually, I think it was maybe the second most expensive, or maybe it was we ended up spending about $150 for the both of us.
Okay. Is that
So-
including your tip?
That was including our tip, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it was like 130 or something like that, or
Okay.
115, something like that. And when you're on vacation,
Make
you're
it
like,
sound like you're a big tipper.
yeah, I think it was like $80 or something, but we were feeling generous. It was though. It was like our one meal. It was like our one meal, so we really wanted to, like, you just, you're on
Enjoy it.
vacation, like you want to enjoy it, and you want to, give a good tip, and And then when you don't have money to get your lift, you're like, where did that money go? No, but
I thought I had $100
so
in my
yeah,
wallet.
the food was great. We like I said, Sophia watched the entire luau. I was actually reading. I've got a book in the airport, and I was glued to my book. I was reading it throughout the whole trip. So I was just on the bed reading, and she was out there for 2 hours or whatever, watching the luau. And so yeah, that was the first day. And like I kind of already said, the next morning we got up, got our wristbands, went and snorkeled a little bit, got some breakfast at the Ulu Cafe again, and on our way out is when we got the shave ice, and then yeah, one of Sophia's friends picked us up and we were out of there. So for a 24-hour trip, I think we ended up leaving around 1. For a 24-hour trip, it was an awesome experience. Super grateful for you
Sounds
guys
like
for
you have to do a lot of things. Did you see the hula
Yeah.
girls there while you're there?
I had my eyes strictly on my spouse. Thank you very much.
Well, she wearing a hula skirt. That's good.
Yeah, during the luau. Whoa. No. Yeah, so that was
Wow, wow, wow.
that was pretty much it. Oh yeah,
Nice.
actually the next morning, the first thing we did when we got up, because we knew we were on a time crunch, we wanted to be able to get our wristbands before checkout and everything. So there's this little place called it's called the Secret Beach. That's what it's named.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And you have, when you're driving up to these resorts, you have, like I said, the shops, you have the Four Seasons, a little farther than you have the Aulani Resort. So before you get to the Four Seasons, it's really hard. There's a parking lot. There's kind of a back entrance to the Four Seasons for like staff probably. And there's this little path, and it's got like wood chips or whatever, like bark kind of laid out. And you walk this little path for a few minutes, and then you're on this little beach, and it's got the sand there. And then there's like some rocks that you can walk on and everything.
Yeah.
And we went probably around 7:30 or 8. We got there, and we were the only ones there. So
Okay.
a guy that we actually hiked with a couple days prior to that told us, "Oh, you're going to the Aulani Resort. There's this really cool spot. It's called Secret Beach. You got to go there, in the
Okay.
morning." He actually told us to go there during sunset. He said, "There's no sunlight like when you're on Secret Beach. It's the best sunset."
Sounds
And we were eating dinner and doing other stuff, but we went there the next morning just to check it out. So from the Aulani Resort, it was probably like a 5 maybe 10-minute walk.
So it's not
So-
part of the
It's
Aulani
not
property.
It's not a part of either of the resorts.
So
I
it's
don't
just in
think,
between somewhere.
It's like a state
It's
beach, I
secret.
think. There's a little sign,
It's
secret. Not anymore. I just exposed it. Um,
Sorry, Secret Beach.
the Hawaiian mob is gonna come
Now it's
after
called-
me.
now
Hey,
they're
that was our
renamed-
secret.
It's called everybody knows it's their beach now.
The not so secret.
The not so secret beach. The very public beach. So yeah, that was it. We went back and did our thing for a couple hours longer, and yeah, it was a great little 24 hours. And not to mention, it was the only time that we had by ourselves, because we were staying in a vacation rental with Sophia's
Right, and
parents and
that's
two of her
why
brothers. And
We
Wow.
thought,
and-
It's a wonder you made it out of the
I
bedroom.
would love to let you guys have some time by yourself because you're there.
We've been
with a
married
lot of
3 years.
people, and I wish you could have stayed at least another night, at least.
To
yeah,
get more activity.
Yeah, I know.
So you could hang out a little bit longer, enjoy it a little more. But hopefully there'll be other times you can go and enjoy it.
mhm. Yeah, that's one of my main
we got it,
recommendations,
so.
just for traveling in general, is
Mhm.
when you're traveling, you want to see so much that sometimes you don't give yourself enough time in one place. And 24 hours, I mean, it's you can still have fun, but you don't really get settled in.
Right.
You're getting, you're having fun. You're going, dang, I have to leave tomorrow. You don't even have at least
I know.
one buffer day. So when Sophia and I do, when we've traveled in the past, we're like, oh, we're here. We want to go to Spain, and then we want to go to Austria, and then we want to go to,
Right.
Yeah,
and
there's-
we
there's
want to go
no
to Paris.
buffer.
You need 3 or 4 days at least in one spot. So you just, and
It's the same when
anyway.
we go to Disney World. It's like I want to stay at a resort for several days. I don't want to. We've tried to do split stays where you
We
stay
could
in
do
one,
2.
but I mean,
yeah, maybe 2.
you got to stay there long enough to enjoy it a little bit. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's some people that
It's
do
hard.
a different resort like every day. And to me,
it's too much.
it's too much. If you don't check in till 4 and you check out at 10, when did you really experience the resort?
Well, I mean, it
Right.
sounds like
It's
you
like
guys.
takes 3
Sounds like
days.
you guys experienced it pretty good with the amount of time you you had there. I mean,
Yeah, well, they couldn't run
Yeah.
off to a park, so.
that's the other
Yeah,
plus.
that's the
Not-
thing. Yeah, like I said, you're at the resort. And I don't really remember, the resort that we went to all that much, and I don't know the other resorts all that well, but I wonder if this one had more to do and was a little bigger because there was no park, and it was like this is Disney's slice of Hawaii. Maybe
Yeah.
it had maybe it had a little bit more to do than a normal resort to kind of
That is
compensate for that.
possible.
I
That
know
is
they
possible.
have a lot of activities, a lot of things that you can participate in. And they have like a dinner cruise that goes out. They have zip lining. They have all kinds of stuff you could be involved in.
Hmm.
That just a list of things that you can
Jacob's
sign
like,
in
I
for.
missed all that.
Son of a.
I used to think I had a good time. Now it's so.
And hikes. There's a
mean,
whole list of stuff.
Yeah,
You could be involved in.
that's the other thing. I would recommend. Like I was thinking today when I was talking with Sophia, I was, man, if you were there for a week,
Mhm.
you would have to get out and go do a few other things.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And there's so much to do. I mean, you can go to the North Shore, you can go to the Polynesian Cultural Center. We did an
Absolutely.
amazing hike where at the very top you could see 360, you could see the whole island. It was incredible.
Yeah. So,
One of the-
okay. So you were at the other place. What other activities did you guys do outside of Disney, just to give people an idea of what other
Yeah.
stuff's around?
Like I said, we went there and the main idea was to just relax, but Sophia's whole family was there. There was like 40 people that were there in her family. And
That's a
they were
crowd,
having a good
man.
time and stuff.
Sure.
Everyone was kind of staying in different places and all that. So we would try to meet up on a beach and we would just, set up camp and be on the beach all day. One of her uncles had I think it was a 15-person paddle board. And
Oh, really?
it was an inflatable, but it was like really heavy duty. And so he shipped it over. It weighs like 300 pounds or something when it's all,
He shipped it over.
he brought it from California.
Oh, wow.
And so he'd blow it up and we, we'd get there in the morning and we'd use it the entire day. And, we went snorkeling, like I said, you see all the sea turtles and stuff. Watching the surfers is really fun too. I just like to sit there and read. And we were just talking the first day that we actually got there, we landed, we dropped our stuff off. And then one of her other uncles, or it was actually one of her cousins, rented a kind of a party boat and it could fit like 40 people on it.
Right.
And we did a sunset like cruise. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And they had drinks and stuff they had a little bar and stuff on board. And so everyone was having a blast and listening to music and we were all chatting and we were out there for an hour and a half or 2 hours or something. And we got to see the sunset. So that's what we did on our first night. Honolulu, Waikiki area, there's a lot of shops. Sophia and I, took a couple walks together and, went to the little shops, got some souvenirs and things like that. Let's see what else.
That's
What
funny.
else did we
Nobody
do?
got you on a
We did that
coconut
hike. No, nobody got me. I got myself, and we'll talk about that another time. Just kidding. No coconut bras or anything. We actually were right by a zoo, the Honolulu Zoo, but we didn't end up going. But we were literally right next to it. But there's a zoo right there and everything. But yeah, just a lot of relaxing. Sophia really wanted to do a hike.
There's a lot of hiking places out there.
I mean, Hawaii's got some of the most
Beautiful
remarkable hikes you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Sophia wanted to do a hike, and I was like, I don't want to sweat and climb a mountain. I just want to sit on a beach. I literally want to get up in the morning, go to the beach, sit in a chair, read a book, jump in the water for a little bit.
There's
come back
nothing
out,
wrong with
eat.
that, man. You guys
that's
are
what I wanted
so
to do.
busy all the time. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Just chilling out, man.
But she really wanted to do a hike, and so we said, okay, we'll do a hike. And so we went with her aunt and some guy that her aunt met at the hotel that she was at. Super nice guy. He goes to Hawaii like once a year, so he knew this hike, and it was remarkable. It was it was typical stranger. No, he was really, really nice guy. Lived in I think Denver, but somewhere in Colorado, and he was visiting, and he took us on this awesome hike. Shout out to Ben, who's going to be listening to this because everybody in the entire United States hears this podcast.
Of course. You don't
we
forget
took
about
family
when you took
pictures,
that one
too.
person up to the volcano and threw him in because you had to make a
Sacrificial.
Sacrifice.
sacrificial volcano to the volcano gods.
blessings and prosperity. But yeah, so we did the hike. I could probably find, I don't even remember what it was called, but it was pretty
Nice.
rigorous actually.
Was it?
We got a really good workout in, but man, when you got to the top, it was breathtaking. So
Nice.
Were you
it
above the
was
clouds?
hot, but I don't even think there was clouds honestly that day. I don't know if we were even that. There was one part of the island I think you could actually, where we were at the top, you could go down and then back up this other. There was a higher point on the island that we didn't go to, but so there was one part that was blocked. So I don't know, maybe on that very, very tippy top, you know.
I remember
But
when I was a kid, I was like 9, 10 years old, going to Hawaii. And we did this hike and we were on Maui. And this hike that went up, we wound up above the clouds. So you kind of
Wow.
walked right through the clouds and the clouds were nestling down. So when we got up and then you'd look into it and there was a sleeping volcano and there was shadows and stuff in it. It was
wow,
the most breathtaking thing. And I remember feeling like I am so close to heaven right now. I'm above the clouds. I was just a little kid, but it was such an impression. The way the light was coming through the clouds and being above the clouds.
I remember one
Mhm.
time I went to
It was
Hawaii
cool.
and I found this little tiki figurine and I wore it around my neck and I was drowned in
No,
the ocean.
no, that's the
And
Brady
then I got,
Bunch.
oh, it was a Brady Bunch.
Nice try.
There's a weird guy in a cave.
That's Brady Bunch.
Yeah, it
Dang,
reminds me of the
Brady
time
Bunch.
that
Still my life.
I was the Chiefs child, and I had to find Maui and Jacob. That's and I had to sing this
big
great
hook. I don't know.
song.
I don't know what happened to my
Yeah.
hook, but
Yeah,
anyways,
Jacob, that's the
sounds
movie
like you-
Moana. That's literally the plot to Moana.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
They stole your
it was
life. Made a movie out of it.
it was a beautiful trip. It was really fun.
Nice.
First time ever in Hawaii. First time ever really anywhere tropical for me. I've never been to even like Florida. I've never, California and stuff. The beaches there, but yeah, I've never been to the Bahamas or even we've been to Mexico a few times, but we've never been to the beaches, Cancun and stuff like that. So it was breathtaking. And yeah, we had a blast. We really enjoyed the lily koi is the flavor. It's a flavored drink, and they have candy that's lily koi flavor, and it was our favorite. And we were pounding that stuff like there was no tomorrow. Yeah, the food was great. It was just overall awesome experience. We can't wait to go again. So
Nice. Well, we will go
Okay.
again. In fact, we'll probably be there next June because Aaliyah's marching band will be in Hawaii.
oh really?
So we decided just
Yeah,
after
they're doing a trip to Hawaii.
yeah, just after the school year ends, they're doing a trip to Hawaii for the band. So we're gonna go and so we can see her and do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that'd be
sounds
cool.
like they
It
got
kind
a
of double
pretty-
it as a
Yeah, they got it all
Little
planned
trip.
out, man. They keep them pretty busy
Yeah,
too.
she'll be playing
Over
on
there.
the deck of the
Well, I don't
Missouri.
know.
One of
I
them's
don't know.
underwater. It's
Yeah,
Missouri and
said-
an
they go,
Arizona. One's
Really?
underwater.
Oh, that's underwater. Won't be the
That won't be that
Missouri.
one
I don't know which one it was, but it was
that we
kind
were
of funny.
teasing. But they'll be playing on the deck, and then they get to go to Polynesian Cultural Center, and they get to do a tour of a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Okay.
cool. They got it all dialed in. So
wow. Yeah,
So
that'll
we'll-
be cool
we'll
for you
probably
guys
do a little
to
trip.
go too. Yeah.
I'll be at
Double it as a
Aulani. They'll be
vacation.
at wherever they're going to be.
yeah, you
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Exactly.
Whatever. It'll be a busy year for us, vacation wise.
Make up for the COVID time,
I'm telling
You
you.
can do some
we-
traveling.
Well, we've got our trip in November, then we have a trip in March, and then we'd have a trip in June. So it would be boom, ba-da-room,
Oh,
ba-da-room.
So
Let's see.
nice.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
nice. It'll be nice.
Yeah.
And then
That was
Dad will
another
be
thing too with
depressed.
it's all over. I was gonna say that's the other thing though with the COVID and stuff. We had to get a test, a COVID test, and then show the results. When we got off the plane in the airport, and you had to get a certain type of test. I forget which one it was now, but you can't get an instant test. So but you have to get it within 72 hours
Yeah.
of your arrival time. But it also requires for you to like do a swab, and then they have to send it into a lab. So you're just like fingers crossed that they get it in. But we
Yeah.
got it in less than 24 hours back. They sent it to the lab. We went to Walgreens. They sent it to the lab, got it back, emailed us the results and stuff. So yeah, there's a little pressure there when you go into Hawaii during these times. You know, you got to make sure you have all your ducks in a row.
Well,
before you
hopefully by
go.
the time we go, we don't got to do all that stuff. I hope.
Yeah, yeah. You know, you got a
Yeah.
year, so we'll see how things look. But
Yeah.
thanks again, guys, for
You're very
All right.
welcome.
Well, thanks
for
for being
letting
on
us
the
go to Aulani. It
podcast,
was
Jacob.
awesome.
I
Oh, I forgot we were on a podcast. I thought we were just
you know,
talking.
I mean, I wish Sophia would have been on her too, but I know she's busy with the
Yeah.
show and everything.
Yeah, she's actually she just called me. She just finished her show, so she probably wants me to go grab her and stuff, go pick her up. But yeah,
I was supposed
we
to
were
pick
talking
her up
about it
like 30
earlier.
minutes ago,
Whoops. Yeah. And
She's
to our-
fine. She's tough.
to our DVC friends out there, gifting points to someone, gifting a vacation was actually a very easy thing to do. The process was simple. Disney worked with me the entire time, and I had it within 24 hours. I had it completely dialed in for them and customized to them. So it really wasn't a hard thing. So if you got points you got to burn, or you want to gift somebody some points, some of those workers that have been slaving away over the last year, don't be afraid to do that and book them something special.
Yeah, and check-in too. I was wondering how check-in was going to work because you know you booked it and everything, but yeah, it was totally seamless. We showed our IDs.
I got online and did your online check-in. So that
Oh, did you really?
I was, because it was
Well,
sending
there
it
you
to
go.
me. So I did your online check-in. So all you had to
So
do
we
is
just
log
showed
in and
up.
show your ID.
That's a good
and
little
go in.
tip
There you
though
go.
for other people too. I mean, especially if they're dealing
Yeah.
with family or friends, that they could do that for them.
Did you wonder how I was following you like every minute of the day? I was able to say, okay, go do this. There's something at 2. There's something, because they were sending me all the activities that were
Jacob-
available.
Oh, was that
that
a
piece of trash you just walked by? What?
It was
How does
pretty
she know
funny.
that?
I'm watching you.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, awesome experience. Go to the gift shop, grab a good souvenir. You always remember. I grabbed a shirt I wore it just yesterday. You know, grab something that'll be useful to you when you're in the
Yeah,
gift shop.
definitely.
So
Absolutely.
All
Well,
right.
it was fun to do that. We
thanks
still got to
again,
get you guys
Jacob.
to Disney with us sometime.
Yeah.
I know. I
It works out
know.
one of these
Seriously.
days.
Yeah,
I'd like to
sooner
spend-
rather than later.
Yeah.
Everybody at one point be with us would be a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
well, Jacob, thank you for being on the podcast and sharing us your experience at Aulani. I think you guys got to see a lot in a little short amount of time you were there.
Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
appreciate
Did pretty
it.
good.
And tell Sophia that we wish she was on with us because that would have added some more to
Oh,
the
guilt tripper.
Guilt tripping.
My dad was crying that you weren't on. I had to talk him down before we started the podcast. So,
Yeah.
all right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the podcast and our little talk on Aulani. And until next time, you guys all have a great week and see you next time.
Thanks all.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Mm.